In that sense, this whole industry is a challenge. Honestly speaking, like, who the... I should not say it. I should control myself. Like if you look at a lot of the use cases, what is a very strong use case that you can actually identify right now? There's a lot of POCs, there's a lot of proof of concept right now, but the whole idea of what exactly is viable, as ideologically is a very good concept. If we can actually tap into it, I would say it's really like a whole new world if we really understand like the underlying concept of blockchain. But the whole challenge is, this whole industry is a challenge. It's like when you look at AI, when you look at 70s, right? Like you have to go through the whole AI winter and everything. Right now, it's just, it went through the hype cycle, and I think that's a whole challenge. When the hype actually dies down, like what is left? Yeah, and I don't think anyone can actually answer that accurately for now.
Thank you for your opinions. And I think that they are really very valid because all of you are in the space and you guys, it's in your day-to-day job. You guys experience this and you guys really see it with your own eyes. So with the audience out here, any questions do you have? Okay. So would you like to share your name and also your industry and your question, and which speaker would you like to ask?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sunny Mohanty. So I'm the Senior Sales and BD Manager for the cryptocurrency exchange LA Token. We are top 10 cryptocurrency exchanges in the world today. So I've been in the space of cryptocurrencies and blockchain for over 1 year now, 1 year and a half. So I've survived it, survived the hype, the challenges and everything, but still I see there's a promising future because I travel across Asia Pac. I travel all the way to even Korea and Japan, promoting listings and IEOs. So my question is for, sorry? One way, yeah. Oh my God, okay, that made it much more easier. Okay, while you were talking, I checked your website, your work. You've done a fabulous job. I mean, I'm really surprised that you're moving out of the industry. One less intelligent woman out of the blockchain space. Why would you do that?
Can you hear me? I think because I love the crypto industry, I love the blockchain industry. That's why I want to do it as a passion. It's different to do something I love so much as a career. Yeah, because career I am obligated to talk to people I don't want to talk to do projects I don't want to do projects with. So it's like along the line there is this compromise which I really don't like. So I just do whatever projects I want, like Interstellar, because they are making difference to developing economies, which is my passion. So I'd rather that than to help richer people make even more money on suspicious projects. So that is another choice. Yeah.
Okay, good to know that you're gonna still be in the space because I'm going to talk to you about after this. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Anyone else? Let's raise your hand. Anyone? Okay. It's okay. I have another question actually. Yeah, so why do you think there has been emphasis on like why women in blockchain, and why is there emphasis on the what do you think are the fresh perspectives that women can bring to the table? We'll start with Celine.
I think it would be our ability to empathize and put feelings to this technical stuff. Because as a UX designer, I focus more on users, and that's where I bring the insights of what people really want and needs back to the development team who are busy creating products. So this is to make sure that they create products that people use. So I think women would be our ability to empathize and guide the male in the industry, and with a soft approach, because sometimes they're just too hard-headed sometimes at work.
Then again, I also won't restrict myself to the blockchain industry in general. I'm a tech, like I'm a developer, right? 80%. I always say, like when I go to meetup, like 80% of my peers are male, right? Sorry, what was the question again?
What do you think? What do you think women has has to offer. Yeah. In the tech industry, blockchain industry, what is it special about women that?
Honestly, I think this whole gender thing is a bit overrated. Like, why do you need to see whether you're female or you're male? Like it's all about the value that you can bring to the table, right? I think when we can move past that, we can move beyond that. So it's not just for the blockchain industry, it's as for the tech industry in general. Like, yes, we need more voices in female, but at the end of the day, I think we as individuals, I think the whole movement of like why female versus male, I think it's really to break down the barriers of what we see as external differences. Like, we all know, like in the Amazon, they have this algorithm that actually remove females engineers because of the fact that their main data set is male engineers, right? I mean, like that's just a very brief example of like the whole emphasis of male versus female is just overrated, right? As an individual, I mean, yes, like you can stereotype, yeah, maybe female has this quality, but I don't see myself as a typical female. Like I think I'm quite masculine in that sense. So yeah, I think it's definitely having female in tech. I would say that it inspires more ladies, and diversity is always good. You want diversity of ideas, you want diversity of values. At the end of the day, I think the whole value is if you look past the external, if you look beyond, if people can look beyond the male, the whole physical gender kind of thing, that is where progress is made. I mean, in general, it's not just what as female we bring to the table, but it's about as an individual, like we see beyond gender in that sense.
Thank you. So let's move away from women in blockchain for just a minute. Okay, so I just want to talk about decentralized finance. So as mentioned, decentralized finance is a movement that started within Ethereum. So now it's moving into interstellar, right? Stellar movements as well, right? So it's a movement that wants to bring about and also wants to build traditional pieces of financial infrastructure on the open and decentralized networks. So there has been massive growth this year. So far there has been more than 450 million USD worked in these applications already. So MakerDAO is one of the very successful example. And I think there are also many projects out there that we do not know about as well. So talking about decentralized finance, what do you think are the biggest value propositions that decentralized finance has, and also what are the problems that it is trying to solve? Maybe you start with Cindy first, or start with one way first. Okay, thank you.
So as Kristen mentioned, it's a growing industry. Like MakerDAO is basically you have DAI coin, the DAI coin. So how many people know the DAI? Raise of hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3 people. How do I explain that? Okay, so MakerDAO is this like very amazing. You think of it as a vault. Okay, so for every stablecoin you have, DAI coin is actually backed by Ethereum. So you need the whole Ethereum to actually generate the DAI coin in the ratio of 3:1. So in a sense, I personally as an economist, I mean I train economics, so I'm very sensitive to the word backed by. I personally don't think it means anything big because backed by air, backed by gold, backed by the government. I think it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so but okay, it makes the masses feel safe. It makes you and I feel safe to have something that is backed by something. So okay, let's accept that. So basically, think of it as a consensus. So if you and I agree to trade something at, let's say, 1 chicken, okay, so the thing is worth a value of 1 chicken. So think of it this way. So decentralized finance is very good for the, as I mentioned in my slide just now, unbanked and underbanked, because who are the banks to reject clients? Who are the banks to say that you cannot have access to the global economy because you don't have the proper ID? Like, who is the bank to say that, right? So basically, one of the very promising areas in decentralized finance is that finally the power can return back to the people. So as long as you and I, based on technology, agree to trade something at $1 US, okay, we can do it. If you and I agree to trade it at 1 Stellar Lumens token, we can do it. So that's the promise of it. The downside of it is that this is still very new. I think close to 2 years old, ever since we have the first mention of decentralized finance in the Ethereum ecosystem. So of course, it's not a very developed tech, it's very young. So we have to be patient, we have to support if we want to support. But definitely, even though it's so new, it already have a huge impact on the developing economies, like China, South Africa, Philippines. So I do expect the growth to continue. So if there's any interesting DeFi projects, I think I'll invest personally in it. Yeah.
I think for me, coming from a design point of view, recently we did a small research at ETH Berlin. So I managed to interview this guy from Nigeria. So for us, it's not so applicable, but for the guy, he mentioned that he got into crypto and eventually got his cryptocurrency. It's because his own currency actually deflates based on an annual basis. So he said that's very relevant to him. At least getting a cryptocurrency stores the value that he has at this moment. So I think DeFi, one of the application or use case would be people on the arm's length, like what we mentioned just now. Yeah.
Sure, no problem. So, from my own understanding, I think DeFi is really, it's pretty powerful on certain levels because on a micro level, smart contracts itself already replace the trusted third parties that we always have. So it really saves a lot of the costs that we have. You don't have to deal with so many lawyers anymore because the smart contract is in place. And also the systematic way of thinking about it is that it replaces, let's say, for example, because it's permissionless and also open, so anyone who has an idea can use the different APIs or all the different points of interaction to create any experiment they want to do. So they can create probably any dApps or any DeFi that you want. They don't have to go through any barriers of entry. They don't have to get permission to do it anymore. So definitely with all this lower barriers of entry, people will be able to create more applications. And with more applications, these applications will become more competitive. And as such, there will be lower costs and also more access for people who wants to use this decentralized finance for themselves. Then also the macro level is of course the part where we separate, or not really separate, but we don't link the government so much with financial institutions anymore. So I think that's definitely good in some ways because there has been a lot of political differences that we see nowadays. So I think it will be healthier. And based on what I said, do you guys have any opinions? What do you all think on the, let's say, the macro level? Do you think financial institutions and governance, and how much should they interact with each other? Do you have any opinions on it about government and financial institutions? Maybe one way.
Government and financial institution. Okay, so DeFi is a new concept, at most 2.5 years old. Of course, let's say Interstellar project, so I had this internal meeting with the founders, right? And they specifically mentioned that they want to work together with traditional institutions. They do not want to replace. So as with all emerging techs, it's always the same argument, because if a DeFi wants to go to the bank and say, okay, F you, I don't want to work with you anymore, we want to replace you, we want to destroy you, that's not going to happen because they are incumbents, they have a lot of power. So basically we want to work together with them to leverage on the existing networks, right? So in Interstellar case, in Stellar Lumen case, there's this concept of the anchor. Anchor means that you already have access to everyone with bank's account. Now we just want to use our app to empower people without bank account. So let's work together. So the person with the unbanked with our app can still have economic transaction with you, the bank. So it is this concept of hybrid model which will be upcoming. So it's not so much of a replace concept. If I find you a threat concept, no, it's not. It is that we want to collaborate together with you and make the pie bigger instead of to replace. Yeah, that is the general consensus of, let's say, a lot of apps, including in our audience, once again, crypto.com, the same concept. They do not want to replace anything. They want to work closely together with current institution and also the government. Yeah. I heard from Yvonne, for instance. Give me a minute. I heard from Yvonne, Yvonne and Esther, Victor's colleague, for instance, that to get some license in Singapore, they have to file a lot of documents, and
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
actually, we are a Visa partner card. So essentially, what we do is we allow you to spend your cryptocurrency in the form of Visa card. So that actually takes a lot of regulations, and there's a lot of things that we need to clear with the local regulators as well. Yeah, so that's currently what we're doing.
So you guys are working closely with the regulators in
Yeah.
general.
So we're also one of the premium sponsors for this year's Singapore FinTech Festival. So catch us there.
Okay, cool. That lady, you have a question?
Pass you the mic.
My name is Coral. I was previously from finance industry, but now I'm in between job. I'm interested in this topic partly because I'm female, but I'm just hearing through the conversations or the sharing. I find that, first of all, does it mean that if we are in a developed country like Singapore, blockchain is not so relevant? I mean, we can do everything as of now. So what's the relevance? And that's my first question. Secondly, my question is, how can we encourage more women to get into blockchain in a practical manner? Like, personally, I'm interested to get in. So I'm just wondering, anyone?
Thank you. Who would like to answer?
Maybe I can take this. So number one, maybe you might have a misconception or mix up between cryptocurrency and blockchain. So cryptocurrencies is what I find that it's most applicable to the unbanked. But for blockchain itself, it has a lot of use cases. For example, I went to an event yesterday. They actually use blockchain, or if you consider just the technology itself, they use it to issue certs that institutions pass it to you so that they understand this certificate. For example, you graduated from NUS and you know that this certificate issued from NUS is on the blockchain, and somebody can just verify it and they know that this is not mutable. It means it's authentic or original, because we know that there are people out there who would just create fake certificates just to get through this. So blockchain would be a form of authentication. I would say that's one of the use case, and blockchain and cryptocurrency. Then for the second question, you mentioned that you're keen to get into this industry.
No, not into this industry, but into this technology, like as a practical using it.
Career or just day to day using it in your daily life? Day to day.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the use cases now, it's based on decentralized finance, so it's just money at the moment. Day to day, I would encourage you to just get your first wallet and then get your copy at the Funan Mall, which accepts cryptocurrency. Maybe you can try that to actually find out how does this whole thing works. Getting your first cryptocurrency and making payment with that. From that, then you can venture off and see which one interests you more. And I think it takes a lot of initiative and reading to eventually know which one you're more interested in.
Yeah, so like in the industry itself, to the consumer side, a lot of it is decentralized finance. But I'm gonna veer off of it. I think I'm playing the devil's advocate today. But like we talked to, because of the hackathon, we actually talked to MPA as well. So they do have a few POCs. So to essentially understand this is you have to look at blockchain. Although it is very beautiful, you have technology, finance, and psychology. There's an intersection of blockchain. That's why it's so interesting. But to sum it up, to come down to why is there a need for blockchain, right? A lot of blockchain companies that I see is I would say a hammer looking for nails. You have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You want to blockchain everything, right? That's the state like last year, yeah. So like people wave white paper and then like people, oh yeah, blockchain, wow, that's so cool, that kind of thing. But if we essentially look at it, like you have to look at blockchain as a technology, right? Like I'm a developer, so I'm gonna speak a bit of geeky terms, right? Pardon me. So let's say you have a database, right? If you just let's say something that can connect everyone. You have a website. You want to do a website, right? It's just a normal website, right? You don't need to hire like a team of developers, like 10 developers, front end, back end, DevOps, whatever, right? You sort of can do a WordPress thing, right? So in the same sense, blockchain is the same as well. Does it fit your use case or not, right? So why blockchain makes sense is, so essentially to just give you a high level overview is that blockchain is a technology, it's a piece of technology that enables different people who cannot trust each other to work together. Alright? Like essentially, there's the gist. So if you think of it, like, what kind of system requires this? Like you look at maybe, so one good use case that I've seen in FinTech Festival. So FinTech Festival, you can actually find a lot of interesting projects. One that really makes sense to me is that there's a Manuka honey, right? You know Manuka honey is only produced in New Zealand. It's a premium product, right? But in China, they are selling 3 times of what New Zealand is producing. So the fraud level, is 3 times. Like anybody can do the math, right? It's probably like 3, 4 times, 3, 4, 5 times, right? But then up to now, I think there is not really a way to track it. Like there's not a way to track what is fraud and what is not. And so there's this company called Singularity. You can go and check it out, Singularity. So they actually work with the Post Office of New Zealand to track the honey when it's first produced. They probably have a QR code or something. So it's when it's first produced, it goes to the blockchain. So blockchain immutable ledger is just there, right? And every process, in every handover, they just do something and every location is tracked onto the ledger itself. So if you receive a Manuka honey, let's say if you're a consumer, you receive a Manuka honey, then you scan it. Then it's like, oh, it does not exist in the blockchain. What does it say? Like if this thing is supposed to be tracked on the blockchain, it's like, okay, like that's a fraud. So like the open cert issue as well, that's a fraud. But this will only work when people really value the item, right? Like if you do it in, I don't know, like normal honey, people don't care. I was like, fake that it's probably fake. Like most of the stuff is not that pure. But Manuka honey, because it's premium, right? So you want to make sure that it's the real item. And regarding getting into blockchain technology, I'm a self-taught developer. So in that sense, I think it's really going out there, meeting people, gaining more skills, seeing what is in market demand, right? During the hackathon, we do have a few companies that is looking for